So, thank you guys for coming. We appreciate it. Obviously, we're here because Chief is retiring, Chief Mick Selck. If everybody doesn't know me, I'm Lieutenant Alan Witte. So, I've had the privilege to work with Chief Selck my entire career. So, I started about 18 3/4 years ago, give or take a month or two. The knowledge that he has given people throughout his career has been invaluable to those that have received it. Chief has been an FTO, a supervisor, almost his entire career with the City of Lake Mills Police Department. His words of advice and guidance will be remembered. The dedication he has shown not only to the Lake Mills Police Department, but to the City of Lake Mills is first class. Chief Selck has shown passion for the job and compassion for the people around him. Chief, you will be missed. Now for the roasting. Just kidding, we're not going to roast him. So there are two things that I'm always going to remember. The first thing is when I got to hear is Chief Selck there. So naturally, the first thing that came into my mind is Tom Selleck. So when somebody calls and says that, there's about a 20-second gap that I don't hear anything, and all I can picture is this perfect mustache. So I looked for the picture with Chief with a mustache, and it was very difficult to find. So I had to go back to his time at, I believe it was on Alaska. So I had a photo, and I drew in the mustache. So now I will always remember this in the mustache. The other thing I will always remember is it seemed to me every time I had to read the Chief's reports that he had typed up or dictated, there was always a word in there that I didn't know what it was. So I naturally assumed he threw it in there just to throw me off. It wasn't actually a word until I looked it up. After I realized it was a word, I assumed that it was on Final Jeopardy last night. And then he had to figure out a way to put it into his report. So that is my speech. Enough about me. So the next person that we're going to have come up, Lieutenant Cedarwall came up with the idea to have District Attorney Monica Hall speak today, as Chief Selck has a lot of respect for her. Those who don't know Monica, she has worked for the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office since 2009. In 2020, she was appointed the DA by Governor Evers. DA Hall and Chief Selck have always had a great relationship, and that's why we asked her to come today. With that being said, DA Hall.
So I've been asked to say a few words about my colleague and friend, Mick. I was pretty sure I had enough to say to all of you, and then I was sent a 3-page, single-spaced summary of his career, so settle in. I'm kidding. I decided to just summarize it all. I promise I won't have you sitting here for too long. I always knew working with Mick that his heart is in law enforcement, and he's always done a great job, both knowing when to pursue and what to pursue. He has always had a great mind to think outside the box and solve problems as they came up. What I hadn't realized until I'd read through these 3 pages was that he was actually nominated and received 4 Officer of the Year awards, first one being in 1996, which I just find to be incredible. It's an annual award the Chiefs and Sheriff's Department puts together for an officer who has done something outstanding. And having sat on that committee now for a few years, I can tell you it's high competition. So the fact that he's earned that award 4 times says a lot about him. It also has prompted me to want to ask him about the stories, because I'm sure that they're fascinating, because they always are. I'm glad that Alan mentioned his mentoring, because I have learned over the years that everyone really has appreciated the mentoring that Mick had gotten, or had given them. What I hadn't realized was how much mentoring Mick had gotten. Anybody who has worked with him over the years, who has given him suggestions, who has spent time with him, he has absorbed and learned from. It's part of the reason why I enjoy working with him as a district attorney or as a prosecutor, is that I always felt like there was a partnership there. I never had the experience of him being the smartest guy in the room. Instead, he always took the suggestions for improvement, and then he taught that skill on to the people that he mentored. And I think that that is reflected in the department, not only as a chief, but as a fellow employee. Helping in the hiring process over the course of the years, the Lake Mills Police Department is pretty second to none. So if we can get a little round of applause for that. Nice job, Nick. I also knew that he was always on the forefront of technology. Well, little did I know that he had a cell phone in early years, and I think it was 1994 when he started and actually ended up with a cell phone. I was still using pagers in the district attorney's office in Milwaukee County in 2009, so I think I'm super impressed. But I know that he fought to get radar units, computers in the squads, videos in the squads, body cameras, and all of these things have really helped law enforcement to improve, and it is really reflected in the Lake Mills Department. Mick's been chief during probably one of the hardest periods to be a law enforcement officer in recent history. He has weathered some pretty heavy storms, and I think we're really lucky that he was here to see us through all of that, because he did a really, really nice job. And I think part of that is because Mick realizes that policing is a community-minded job. He has never been out to get the bad guy. Not to say that he has not always done a very good job of investigating cases, but to him, it's about ensuring that the community is safe and recognizing that all members of the community deserve to have a quality police department. I have spent many days at the bar with Mick. He is my friend, not just my colleague. And I think that that statement, though, means something, because he doesn't find himself to be higher than, better than. He finds himself to be part of the community. And that's why he's been such an effective law enforcement officer. He's also community-minded. I have seen him at Rotary. I know that he worked with the American Cancer Society Relay for Life, and I know he's been involved in his children's lives. And I think I would be remiss to not mention his children, his boys, Ethan and Barrett. Are they both here? They are, yeah. There you are. Who have two parents in law enforcement, which is no easy thing. The hours are terrible. When you have parents who work like these guys do, they work weird hours, and they are sometimes honestly in danger. So I know that it's been an effect on the family, but having seen Facebook pictures of Mick's recent trip this spring. Hopefully not all of them end in flights being canceled, but hopefully that there'll be some more family trips coming now that he'll be able to refocus some of his time, although we are going to miss him. So lastly, Chief Selck, you have been in law enforcement for more than 30 years. How is that? 28 years with Lake Mills Police Department. Thank you for giving us your all. We really appreciate it.
Thank you both very much, and it means a lot. Let's get these out right now. So thank you, everyone, for coming. Seeing all these smiling faces in here makes me just ask one question. Doesn't anybody have a job around here anymore? It's like, holy cow. But it is amazing to see everyone, and it's also very humbling. I'm an emotional guy, which has helped and hurt me both in my personal and professional life, but so bear with me. I've been truly blessed to make a career for myself here in Lake Mills. It's an amazing community, and it's been a long road to get here to today, but here we are. I can't believe I took my first oath in September of 1990. I've been a sworn member of 5 agencies. During my career, I've investigated and witnessed some pretty horrible things. But during that time, I've also met some amazing people and had a lot of opportunity for personal growth. The good, the bad, and the ugly have all made me a better person. When I came here in 1994, I was in need of a second chance. For those who gave me that chance, Chief Ron Click, Fred Hosey from the Police and Fire Commission, and the rest of the PFC members, I am forever grateful. When I started here, I had no connection with this community. I had no desire to stay more than a few years and move on to bigger and better things. That was over 28 years ago. So why did I stay? I fell in love. I fell in love with this community and its people. I was given the opportunity to grow and to support. I was given the opportunity to grow and the support to be successful in my career. I became part of a family, and I started my own family. Everything was clicking, and Lake Mills became my home. You guys got an over-under on how many I use? So one thing that made Lake Mills become a home for me was an unexpected opportunity that was presented to me by Chief Ron Click. He had asked me if I could go down and help some old ladies with a cancer walk around the park. And I was supposed to help them set up the parking for that. And after I met with them, I realized this was kind of the first time I'd ever had to deal with law-abiding citizens instead of criminals in the work setting. But through this opportunity, I began to see the true humanity of the citizens I served. I got to know people who had cancer or watched loved ones battle cancer, and in some cases lost their battle. I connected with people in a way I'd never connected before, through empathy. And like the Grinch, my heart grew 3 sizes that day. I got more involved with the relay, and I met more great people. Over time, I served the Big Brother and Big Sister organization. I did some foster care, and now I help with Rotary. My little brother Andrew, who couldn't be here today, he's now 33. I was the best man in his wedding. I'm the godfather of all 3 of his children. But the one thing I never told him was how the Big Brother, Big Sister program changed my life for the better and made me a better person. So, Andrew, I know you'll be watching this later, and just thank you. So the combination of seeing the best in people throughout the community service and the worst of people through law enforcement taught me about everyone's humanity. Over time, I learned not to judge someone based on their worst day because I never saw them on their best day. Would you want to be judged on your worst day as a significant other, as a parent, as a friend, as a coworker, or family member? Law enforcement does not get called on a person's best day. We all have bad days, so cops need to recognize this and lead with compassion and empathy. I promise you it will be rewarded. When you put it out there in the universe, it will come back to you. Since I started in law enforcement, my goal was always to be someday chief. With a great deal of luck and help, I finally made it on October 2018. However, those who know me best know that I have not always been real comfortable with the title. I'm looking forward to just being Mick, and not chief. It's been a busy few years for me, especially in the early stages of 2020 when COVID hit, followed closely by unrest created by generations of racial disparity in this country. I am thankful that I had the opportunity to serve during these difficult times, but I would like you to know not every decision comes easy. Although once a decision is made, an action to carry out that decision is 100%, but the decision itself may have been a 51-49 split. Decisions can require a lot of thought and anguish. The results can be hurtful and even life-changing to the citizens or employees it affects. When making a decision, you can be certain that every decision will be scrutinized and questioned by all. I want you all to know if there were decisions that I made that did not fall your way or you don't agree with, I'm sorry that I hurt you. But that's what the position demands. Decisions and actions. I know I wasn't always right. I know that not everything was done perfectly, but I did my best based on what I knew at the time. This is the way. And now it's time to move on and let someone else make those decisions and find their own way. Over the last few years, I've been to too many funerals. I've known too many people who have gotten cancer, had a heart attack, or a stroke. I'm not getting any younger. Life is too short. I want to enjoy the time I have left on this planet before time, fate, and too much McDonald's food takes away my opportunity to do so. Insert your own fast food place. I go, Mom. Anyway. Although I know they're going to call looking for me soon, so. Over the last few years, no one in this line of work accomplishes anything without help and support. The support of the community, the city staff, police employees, past and present, family and friends. There are many people in this room who have helped me through things both personal and professional in my time in Lake Mills. Too many people to mention you all and give you the thanks you deserve. However, as I stand here today because of you, I am about to embark on a new adventure. It is a great feeling to have you all here with me today. I do, however, need to acknowledge a few people. Family is the cornerstone of life, and I am fortunate to have two great sons, Ethan and Barrett, who thankfully think it's cool that their dad is the police chief. You guys want to raise your hands so I know where you are? So I don't know if I'll still be cool after July 5th, but I sure hope so. Nope. I'm getting the no already. So I'd like to thank my girlfriend, Kelly, and her daughters, Tessa and Maya. Both of them have birthdays this week, so happy birthday to them. But I also want to thank my ex-wife, Kathy, and her husband, Vince. We work as a team to parent our kids. We did a damn good job. So thank you both. I almost blew a bubble. That would have been cool. I've made some strong friendships since I came here to Lake Mills. Friends in the early 90s that 28 years later are still here today. Tara and Dan Topol, Troy Kloss, Jason Forrest, and many others who have been here and have been here for me. I am thankful for these friends, and I'm thankful that they can keep secrets. All right. Yeah, July 5th is the date. So, but, thank you guys. About 7 years ago, I made a decision to join Rotary, and their positive energy and compassion changed my view of the world for the better. They're an amazing group of people. Many of them are here today, and if you're not a member, I'd be happy to take you to a meeting. My former chiefs, Ron Klick, Kathy Hansen, Pat Matuszewski, all of you contributed to my growth and development. I know I was pretty headstrong. I wasn't the best pupil, but thank you for sticking with me and giving me the opportunity to learn, improve, and grow. You all contributed to my success. City staff, past and present, it takes a team to get it all done, and we've had some fun both on and off duty, and so thank all of you for that. But a special thanks to our leader, Steve Wilkie. I left a stinky bag on your desk. Please don't open it till after 4. But I did want to thank both you and Dan Drescher for being supportive during one of the toughest times of my life. You guys believed in me and you helped me to be here today, and thank you. You're two of the smartest people I know, and the breadth of knowledge is amazing. The hours you put in, the stress you take home, and I just thank you both for doing it. To the police officers and dispatchers, past and present, each of you share different memories and stories with me. I know that not all of those memories are perfect, but I hope that the majority of them are. At the end of the day, we've always managed to clear the air on issues, sometimes agree to disagree, but then we move forward. Whether your memories are fond or otherwise, just know that I care very much for every one of you, and I wish all of you the very best. To my command staff, Lieutenant Cedarwall and Lieutenant Witte, thank you for all your hard work and flexibility. Few people know how much you guys do or how much you have to bump your shifts around and flex your days, phone calls at home and on weekends. Thank you guys for doing that. Thank you for being great advisors to me and helping me to make the best decisions for our department and our community. It's been my pleasure to watch you guys grow in your positions. You both have the ability to be great chiefs, and I hope you both get a chance at some point. Lead with empathy and compassion. Honest mistakes are opportunities to mentor and coach and teach, but do not tolerate malicious behavior or apathy. Thank you to this wonderful community. The last few years have really tested us. We came out on the other side stronger and wiser, but throughout my entire career, this community has always supported the Lake Mills Police Department, and I want you to know how much we appreciate it. Last, I want to thank my dad. He was my biggest supporter, my biggest fan. Unconditional love helped me believe in myself, even when chips were down. I lost him in 2005. Many of you did a great job helping fill in those gaps. So what's next? Kelly and I are taking a trip out to Maine. I'm going to take the summer off before I make any decisions, but hopefully we'll have something lined up for the fall. I am proud that I committed myself to such a noble and honorable profession. The men and women who pin on the badge and go out there every day to serve and protect are some of the finest people you'll ever meet. Never forget, the officers can't do their job without the support staff, dispatchers, and administration. It takes a team to make it all work. If I can ever be of service to any of you, do not hesitate to ask. Thank you for coming. All right, so please, there's coffee and cookies and some drinks, and I probably won't get a chance to speak to every one of you or at length I'd like to, but just thank you so much for coming. It means a lot. Thank you.
Just one more thing, at 2:45, we're going to have
Oh, don't go anywhere, Chief. I couldn't let you get out the door without showing you the proper appreciation from the state. As it's been said by both the DA and yourself, you served with exemplary honor during a really difficult time, not only in this community, but within this state, and you will be greatly missed. So, because nobody ever comes to these things and wishes a politician would talk more and longer, I'm just going to read you the citation that Senator Jagler and I are presenting Chief Selck with in his retirement. Oops, it's coming apart on me here. Whereas Chief Michael Mick T. Selck has retired upon completing over 3 decades in law enforcement, 28 years of which were with the City of Lake Mills Police Department, working up through the ranks from sergeant to captain and finally to chief. And whereas Chief Selck, having dedicated his life to public service and safety, beginning his law enforcement career at the Onalaska Police Department, moving on to the La Crosse Police Department before settling into his permanent career with Lake Mills Police Department. Whereas Chief Selck has many achievements and accolades to his name, most impressive was being awarded Officer of the Year and serving as Vice President of the Jefferson County Chiefs Association. And whereas the Chief's impact on his community was substantial and the community will miss him and his dedicated service. And whereas the Chief's retirement will be far from boring between spending time with his sons Ethan and Barrett, he hopes to be able to stay sharp with his firearms, hunt and fish, travel, catch up on his reading list, and continue to serve as Rotarian president in Lake Mills. Therefore, let it be resolved, the members of the Wisconsin legislature, on motion of Representative Barbara Dietrich and Senator John Jagler, do hereby commend City of Lake Mills Police Chief Michael Selck on earning a well-deserved retirement. Thank Chief Selck for his commitment to the community and ensuring law and order and safety for all residents of Lake Mills, and wish him continued success and happiness in all his future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
We've got a box and a card in there for you.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
I will make just one more quick announcement for everybody. I'm leaving you in good hands. Alan Witte has been chosen to be the acting chief of police in my absence while they are still doing the search. So a round of applause and some support for Lieutenant Witte in the future here. So.
Jefferson County now listening units 1033 traffic at 1448.
I'll be 1042.
10-4-6801.
All right. Hold on. Oh, there's more?
6801. Mick Selck. Great honor and privilege that as of June 29, 2022, after 28 years of service, the Lake Mills Police Department, we bid you farewell on your retirement. Your position will be filled, but you can never be replaced. Your accomplishments and sacrifices have not gone unnoticed, and your legacy will forever carry on at Lake Mills Police Department. LCD will cherish the time and memories we had with you. To your family, we thank them for the sacrifices they went through and allowing us to have you for so long. However, it is time for you to move on and become that full-time vacationer you have been bragging about. The citizens of Lake Mills were fortunate to have such a great leader in their community. The citizens of Lake Mills were fortunate to have such a great leader in the community. You truly made your imprint on this community and with the people you served. We wish you health, happiness in your next endeavors, and congratulations on your retirement. It's with great pleasure as of 2:50 p.m. on June 29, 2022, badge number 6001 is 10-7, 1042 for the last time. Congratulations, Chief Mick Selck.
Thank you. It has been my distinct honor to serve this community, to work with the staff, and members of the Jefferson County Law Enforcement family as a whole. I'm thankful and wish you all the best in your life and goals. Thank you so much for that. All right.